Hello, hello, hello. So I've been traveling a bit recently. I was in Taiwan and then I was in the US and now I'm in the UK and then 2 days I'm going to Germany. So this might be a little bit of a brief update. So if you saw the first video, I introduced 5 different games. My favorite one was probably Breach, which is about making these special forces police-like breaches in space. What I read online is that a lot of people like to use prototyping to answer certain questions. So I came up with some questions I want to answer. For example, is busting down the door in space cool? Is dragging a line around on the ground and planning it all out even fun? And then there's some other questions. To that end, I started working on these features. So the first feature I wanted to work on was getting the units to follow lines on the ground. It ended up being a bit more complicated than I expected. I hadn't used Unity's line renderer, which is what you use to draw lines, in a very long time. So this took me a bit of time. One thing I did like about it though was making the graphics code to draw the line. Next I had to get a unit following the line. Once I had one unit following the line, I had to get more units following the line. So if you have a squad that's 5, 6, 7 people, you want them all to be following the plan you set before them. And then I had to figure out Unity's timeline system, which is what you use to sync up audio and visuals, cutscenes, running code, that kind of stuff, all working at the same time in sync. And that part I probably spent 20 to 30 hours working on over the course of 2 or 3 weeks. That was not very fun. But after I got it working, it's really cool to watch. And then I set it up so there's a picture in picture, so you can sort of see the cinematic in the corner as you're watching the whole level. I think I was inspired by the Hitman game or something who had this. By the end of it, I actually liked how it looked, even though it wasn't really a game yet. I think that's kind of important about prototyping is that you allow yourself to answer your questions without necessarily having to create an entire game.